All right, we're ready to move inside now and start working on the floor. Now we're doing something a little different in there. I know most people would probably take the concrete and go with that, but I thought it would be kind of interesting to put in some pavers on top of the concrete so you have a floor that just kind of flows out into the area out here in front. So if you're like wheeling a log splitter or something in there, it's just easy to like ramp right in. You don't have any steps or anything like that. And yeah, keep them real tight, Lenny.
I'm trying to do it.
Yeah. Now what we're working with is a paver with a color called Sahara Beige. It has browns that match the inside of the cabin and then grays that I think will reflect very well with the stone going outside. Now these come in three sizes, 4x8, 8x8, and 8x12. And what's nice about these, it's very easy to come up with a freeform design because two of these will make one of these, one of these, and one of these will make one of these, so you never get caught in a corner, although we are going to be going off an established pattern. By doing something like this, we order all of the pavers on this ratio. So if we follow this pattern, in fact it's laid out right here, if we do this, replicate it across the floor, when we get to the very end we'll have the same ratio of pavers left over. If you do your own freeform design, it's very easy sometimes to use, let's say, too many larges or too many smalls. When you get to the end of the room, you're starting to end up with a lot of the same size and it may not look real great. So, so we're going to be going with something like this. Now what's interesting about this product is it's called face and base. The base is this area right here where it's kind of a stiffer aggregate, makes for a really strong paver. And then the top layer here, they put more cement, there's less aggregate, which gives it a nice smooth finish, a nice even edge here. So when you place these together, they fit together very tight. So it's going to work great in there where we have sawdust coming on the floor and whatnot. You won't have like holes and big gaps filling up with sawdust. Also outside, they will have a tendency not to fill up with as much dirt, so you don't have to worry about getting as many weeds.
It's always easy to set pavers on concrete because you basically have the cement head doing all the hard work for you, because you still got your straight lines, you still want to keep with your pattern, you still want to make sure that you run straight, check yourself, and of course, instead of cutting against edging, you're cutting against a wall. Other than that, exact same thing.
Now we've always said the base is everything on a paver job. You can't get a better base than a monolithic pour of concrete. So the combination of the base and the product, this is probably the easiest paver job we'll ever end up doing. Now one thing I wanted to point out, so the whole concept here is this sits on the concrete. Out here we'll compact some class 5 and then this will just continue on a nice smooth motion. Of course it'll slant down so we don't have water coming into the building, and it'll just kind of mosey out through the trees, make it very easy to wheel things in and out of the shed. I think it'll work pretty well.
He doesn't know if he's going to put sand to kind of lock everything together, so what we're going to do, it's kind of a dry lay, but we're going to glue it right where the door is, probably a double row of glue, kind of hang on to those pavers so they don't want to leave the building, they want to stay in the building. So we'll get a bunch of laid, peel some out, and before we leave tonight, we'll glue the first row in. So we come back tomorrow morning, she's all ready to go.
All right, so the plan is to totally fill out the inside of the shed, make all of our cuts, get all the pavers taken care of. Then we'll take this threshold, cut this and lay that across, cut the doors down so all of that's working, and then we'll lay in our base and head with our pavers right out the front door and start meandering through the trees. Okay, Lenny, I'm going to put this around the side here.
Sounds good, Dean.